Greetings, my name is the Smaltzy Cynic, and today we're continuing our playthrough of Shadowrun Returns. Now, this is done in the same day, I just basically had a lunch break. Let's see. Oh, okay, I was just wondering what that extra thing was. Let's see. I think this is someone that mentioned beforehand. Full of life with a quick smile, the man tilts his head and watches you approach. Hey guy, what's shaking? A little of this, a little of that. I hear that, Ome. I might have something for you, if you got the new yen. Time is money, I'm listening. You ever hear of the Nephilim Network? Of course you have. An in-the-know guy like you has to have heard of the premier merc team out there. Of course. Then you know you can hire us to run with you when you need expert help. Not just any chube calling himself a runner. We cost more, but we're worth it. Right. So, when we last left off, we were just prepping, or about to prep, for our first actual run. But first, we got some information to sell. I'm very busy. You show me something worth my time, or you walk away. How about this? Data from the NTSB. Renraku would pay to keep it quiet, and Ares would pay to know what it is. I've got 800 new yen for something like that. Deal. Done. Actually, let me see. Gonna increase. They know that you would try to do that. Nah. I'll save that for next time. For right now, I can increase my body. I can increase probably my intelligence or my rig. Let's see. Yeah, let's get it to 5. That way I can just get up there. And then my rigs will start being useful for once. No, I'm kidding. They're always useful. Alright, so let's sell off my other thing. Hey, you want some juicy BTL clients? Straight from a Yakuza Syndicate lab. Oh. That's dangerous info. I'd rather not handle it. So how about 600? Fine. Here you go. Done. See, even he's smart enough not to mess with the Yakuza. Alright, we have to meet with Jessica, so let's go have a talk with her. At a glance, you can tell that Sam's sister Jessica is from a different world. The opposite in almost every way. Her suit is tailored, her eyes sharp, and her style exudes authority. Miss Watts, I presume. She eyes you up and down warily. She does a good job of hiding it, but it's clear that she was well outside of her comfort zone. Yes, and you are? My friends call me the Smaltzy, and I counted Sam among them. That's funny. I didn't think Sam had any friends. Friendship is defined a little differently in the shadows. I suppose it would have to be. So you're the one I was told about on the phone. A woman called herself Coyote contacted me this morning to inform me that my brother was dead, and that I should come to this place and speak to someone about an investigation. That's right, and I'm hoping you can help me get to the bottom of this. I don't know what use I'll be. Just answering a few questions is all I need. Alright, but... She then furrows her brow regarding you more critically. You're not with the police, are you? No, I'm not. Is that a problem? Her frown grows more pronounced. No, it's just that I don't want anyone else getting hurt on account of my brother. Surely there has an official police investigation going on. Why not just let the professionals handle this? I think they could use all the help they can get. But you must have better things to do than waste your time searching for whoever killed my low-life brother. First, Sam was my friend, and second, I'm being paid for my trouble. She seems genuinely surprised. Someone's paying you? I find it hard to believe that anyone who really knew Sam would put up the money. Who is it? Sam. He actually hired me from the grave. I don't understand. It's called a dead man's switch. It's triggered when he died. Am I to believe that my drunken sot of a brother hired you to find the person who killed him after he died? Her boardroom mask falls momentarily, and in a sigh she reveals a brief glimpse of real emotion. I left Seattle to get away from Sam and his bullshit. Now I'm back, he's dead, and I still have to deal with him. Jessica composes herself, and in a breath the mask is back in place. Listen to me. You seem like a decent person, but I'm trying to move on with my life. Our mother killed herself last year, and Sam, well, Sam was Sam, you know? I worked so hard to put my family issues behind me. I don't want to see this drag on any further. I would love nothing more than give you closure, and quickly. I appreciate that, but I just think it would be better just to let things be. No one else needs to get hurt. Your brother had my back when I needed him. I can't just walk away from this. Are we talking about the same man? My brother was worthless. Worthless. He used people. She sighs. She's done. Never mind. I can see that you're not going to let this go, and I respect that you are honoring my brother's memory. In your own way. But I hope you can understand how emotional this is for me. Jessica's demeanor instantly changes, from reluctant to helpful in the span of a single meditative breath. Maybe you can do things in a way that the police can't, and maybe I can help. What do you need? When was the last time you saw or spoke to Sam? Ages. I can't even remember. There was a note on Sam's body. It sounded like an apology. An offer to meet up and bury the hatchet. It was signed Jessica. I wrote so many such notes, in the beginning, but I haven't made such an effort in a long time. I don't know why he would have kept it. Were you and your brother close? I think I made my feelings about Sam pretty clear, don't you? You don't seem to care whether or not his killer faces justice. Of course I want justice. I just can't let him drag me down again. Jessica takes the photo from you guardedly, as if it might sting her, but that guard drops the moment she looks at it. Where did you find this? It was in Sam's bunk. I can't believe he kept this. You two look so much alike as kids, and happy. She smiles a brief reverie. We were twins, partners in crimes, the best of friends. What happened? Things were different back then. We were different. We were all a family. Then, after our father died, things began to change, and we couldn't get back to a new normal. With our dad around, there was always a reassuring order to our lives. But after, everything got mixed up. You can never really appreciate the importance of a person in your life until they're really gone. The remorse plays wet across her eyes, and it seems that she's not just talking about her father. Jessica then steels herself to tell the rest. Sam tried to be the man of the house, he truly did, but he couldn't handle it, and pretty soon he had spent every dime of our father's life insurance. Every dime. After that, with Mom working 2 and 3 jobs, he spent all her money too. I couldn't stand the way he abused her trust, so finally, I just had to leave. She holds the photo forward, one part of her ready to relinquish it, along with the past and another looking to hold on to it. May I keep this? Sure. I got everything I needed from it. Thank you. So, could you tell me where you were on the night of Sam's murder? I will overlook the implied accusation and tell you that I was at a fundraising all evening. A very crowded fundraiser. Okay? So do you know if Sam had any particular enemies? Sam's biggest enemy was Sam. I don't know of any others. You would likely know better than me these days. Okay? I know it's a touchy subject, but you tell me a little bit about your mother and her death? She was a devout Catholic. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that she sacrificed her life for Sam and me. But she turned a blind eye to what Sam was becoming, refused to acknowledge his downward slide. I couldn't watch her do it anymore, so I moved out. After that, we drifted farther and farther apart. I wasn't here when she died. In fact, I didn't even know about it until I returned to Seattle 5 months ago. So, where were you living before you moved back here? Call free. Oh, I guess that's California. What brought you back down there? What brought you down there? It was less of what brought me there as to what made me leave here. I felt lost in Seattle, so I moved to California to see if I could find myself. Did you? Actually, yes. While I was there, I developed a whole new outlook on life. A vision for what the world could become. And I came back here to make it happen. Well, I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you, Miss Watts. Just as well, I need to go back to the office. Before I go, you should know that I'm returning my mother's body tomorrow, and I'm arranging to have Sam buried with her. The funeral is tomorrow at Our Lady at the Blessed Sacrament, 7 o'clock. You're more than welcome to attend. I wouldn't miss it. Goodbye. I hope that you find what you're looking for, and stay safe. Well. Now, one thing I do kind of like about that exchange, and it's kind of more of a... It's more of a kind of subtext kind of thing. And when I say subtext, I mean something that's a part of the narrative that isn't the most overt aspect of it, but it's actually something that's rooted in the actual narrative and not just something that I kind of pulled out of my ass to kind of have something to talk about. And that is kind of like that whole family structure thing here with Sam and her family. Because without their father in their lives, the family unit kind of dissolved in itself, with Sam not having the proper guidance to be the man of the household, the mother not restricting him or tempering his behaviors, and the sister just kind of going her own way to make her own decisions. So I always thought that was a kind of a neat little touch of the plot. Nothing too much to it, but it's just a nice little showcase if you care for that kind of thing. But now that we got that taken care of, let's go talk with Miss Kabuto, I think. Oh, hey Coyote. When Coyote sees you, her eyes glisten with gratitude. There he is, the man of the hour. How's Gino doing? Hard to say. He's pretty burnt. Malnourished and dehydrated too. Paco's taking care of him. He's got friends who know about that kind of thing. She smiles. He's a good man, that Paco. The world looks pretty different to me now that I've got Gino back. So, you still gonna be a runner? She looks at you confused. Hell yeah, I'm gonna be a runner. I am a runner, Ome. I just play bartender to make ends meet. See you around, and don't forget about me if you need some backup of your own. Well, hello there, Mr. Clue. Glad to see you are well. So, how are things here? As always, though people are more on edge than usual. Word got around that the latest Ripper killing, and people aren't feeling safe. And when people feel unsafe, they either go to ground or they huddle up. That's because how empty... You notice how empty the streets are these days. That's because everyone's either locked in their squats, holed up in places like this, or seeking refuge in the nearest Universal Brotherhood chapter house. Safety in number, chummers. Safety in numbers, chummer. Not that we need numbers here. I got it covered. I bet you do. Well, take care. Alright, Mr. Delia, do you have anything for me? If you're talking to me, then there's business to transact. Am I right? Of course. It's your job to be right. This is correct. You are a smart guy. What can I do for you, smart guy? I need a crew. You got a scratch, or are you just planning to pay me out of your own earnings? I can pay the runners up front. Excellent. We agree on terms. I've got some runners on call if you ever have some special requests. Well, I've got stuff to take care of first. Okay, so that's actually engage the next thing. But we don't want to do that yet. We want to first kind of deck ourselves out a little bit better. All right, I didn't use my own medkit. It was the other medkits. Okay. Just because I really can't make use of the grenades right now, I'm gonna go get another drone. What do you call it? Drone kit for my benefit. I believe it was Grubberman who had them. Well, let's see what he has to say about his history. Tell me a little about yourself, Buster. Where were you? Were you military? After a fashion, yes. Sergeant in the 34th California Militia. It's no longer recognized, and there are those who say we never were. But someone had to stand up to the Tur, and it fell to us. Who? Sorry, that didn't work. Tur Talgrain? Yes, sir. I was in Calfrey when the Elves came marching down from the north in 36. After the UACS pulled their support, we had little in the ways of an organized defense. But what we did have was a stockpile of weapons and ammo down in Oakland. The locals in NoCal held out long enough for us to bring the heat. And I tell you, with all the magic hoo-ha in the world, ain't enough to stop a V11 hot rock from cracking your dome. We drove them elves all the way back to Rekka? I'll go with it. Would have pushed them all the way back to Portland too, but some ninny down south reached out to Japanese for aid and got her own version of Normandy for the trouble. Things went to hell in a handbasket from there. Don't much like to talk about it these later days. Let's talk guns instead. Can I get you anything? Sure. Huh. So the Uzi is actually more powerful. That's interesting. Maybe it's the ammo capacity that makes it a little bit better or worse, depending on your definition of it. I could get another drone. That's a possibility. Yeah, why not? And then we can get the drone kit. So let's replace this with, there we go. So now we're decked out with our both drones. That should help. Okay. Any new threads, my man? I mean, the alley punk one could be useful, but I would lose my intelligence bit, right? Well, I can go for cheap and get this. Yeah, why not? Yeah, that'll work. Look goofy, but I keep my stat bonus, and that's what's important. Alright, any cyber implants I can get? Wait, hold on, what's going on? Means a good person courting death more often than a good doctor should condone. But I don't suppose I can dissuade you from your course of action. Sorry, Jock, job's not done. Let me see your medical supplies. Okay. We're going to find more of these in the future, so I'm not really going to buy them. I just want to have one on standby. Just for, good purposes. Okay, so now I can actually get the stuff that I was looking for. What would I like to get? Probably the Cyberleg Basic. Probably the best one. Yeah, let's get that, because that'll be useful. That's weird. There we go. Yeah, so here it's just basically telling you about that. Okay. So we got our first cyber plant and everything else. Now the nice thing is that although you can spend all your money on other things, you can actually play this entire game by yourself. Granted, there are story missions where you won't be able to do that, but most of the runners and stuff you can kind of substitute for free. So you notice most of them cost money, and there's two networks you have. You have your fixer contracts, which are usually cheaper. And then you have the Nephilim network, which is the basically those hot shots that we talked about from earlier. You can see all their stuff. I don't think you can modify their stuff at all as far as, inventory. But it gives you some leeway of sorts. So for this one, I'm not going to go too expensive here. Okay, there we go. I was wondering why I couldn't see it. Let's see. What spells do we got? I kind of want to try out the mage, that way I can kind of get a feel of them. Do I need one that heals? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we got one. Let's see. Kind of want someone with guns, though. Who do I have for samurai? Yeah, that's probably the best one. Yeah, so let's go with this. We'll roll out with these crew. Sorry, this crew. And yeah, that'll be fine. Now, I do think you get to use Paco and what's his name? Sorry, Paco is the male one. Coyote is the other one. So you can use those to kind of substitute it for saving a little bit on your cash. This is one thing that I think, besides the more of a formal introduction to the world, this is one thing that this game does way better than Dragonfall, because Dragonfall has one problem that ruins this entire idea. They have story-focused side characters that you can bring on with any mission, and that was a problem, because why would you spend all this money to roll out runners when you can do the other ones for free? You see what I'm saying? So I felt like if you were going to do this bonding thing with your soldiers, you should have missions where you have all four, and then maybe for other runs you need them to be like do side operatives, or you can only have one of those runners. That way you still do this whole hiring of runners and stuff. But I'll bring that up again when I get to Dragonfall, because that was always something that kind of irked me. But whatever, we'll roll with this. Yep. Return to the docks. You return to the docks to meet Shannon Halfsky. Although the Ripper's latest victim was her brother, but Shannon appears cool and professional, a consummate runner by birth, if not by trade. She'll get the job done, and hopefully one of the heart spirits in this place can point you towards the Ripper. Dealing with spirits can be a tricky business, but when they deliver, it's pure platinum. One doesn't have to be this is a hard word. A Meridian shaman to summon and control spirits. Anyone with magic talent can do it, but Shannon seems to have a particular connection to the spirit world. As you approach the gate, you know something's not right. The docks, already strange and uncomfortable at night, trigger the need for caution. Then you see it. The guards are missing, and the gate has been smashed in. Uh-oh. Well, that sounds inviting. So here you can actually, better load out your soldier, or your, not soldiers, the stuff. And I'm pretty sure if they don't use it, you can always keep whatever you have left. So, I mean, there's nothing reason not to do this. Yeah. Yeah, let's just go with that for now. I don't need all of it, just enough. Yeah, we'll get the karma thing. Wait, I only have 2. Why are you pestering me for only 2? Stupid thing. I may get the throwing weapons in the future because that would increase my grenade ability. For right now, I think we're good. Yeah, this will be fine. About time he showed up. Looks like we weren't the only ones who wanted to take advantage of the situation. A bunch of mercs had locked down the area. I don't think they're here for us, though. My guess is there's something worth a bit of coin left in that warehouse. Well, I was hoping this would be a milk run. Me too. Figured we had to sneak past a few Lone Star sentries. But I saw at least 4 mercs out there, with bigger guns than Lone Star carries. Well, I wonder why they could be here. Now, is there a way for us to sneak inside? I don't think so. But maybe I can bluff my way in. You there. This block is off limits. We got a gas leak on the docks. No loitering. This guy doesn't look like one of the hired mercenaries. Hey, are you even listening? Get out of here. I'm not here for you. Just let me through. Look, guy, I didn't want to have to do this. Okay. Well, say hello to my robots. Oh yeah, now we're loading an armada. Oh. I went a little overkill there, didn't I? So yeah. It'd be interesting to kind of manage all these units. Is there anything useful around here? Because we didn't go this way last time. I don't think so. Oh, found them. Okay, let's use the Doberman first. Now, she just has a pistol, okay. But she has spells. Let's see what she got. Alright. Now, spells are only on cooldown, or yeah, it's cooldown, so there's no like mana system, so fire away whenever you feel like it. Okay, so what do you got? Oh, you're a mortar. Okay, that should be interesting. Move over here. Well, what else you can do? Go figure. Somehow I missed an explosion. more of them. Okay. It's be a little tougher than I thought. Oh, that landed a pretty good hit. Alright. Well, since I'm already hit, let's go ahead and heal ourselves. And remember, only the last hit can be restore damage, so that's why you kind of want to be a little carefree with your healing. Alright. Pretty much did that without getting a scratch, which is always what we should try to do. Alright, now I'm back in control. This is why I like controlling the rigger, because I can have so much more leeway with what I want to do. I could be going pure assault with both soldiers, or I could be more, you know, careful about it, or use it as kind of like a distraction. So, yeah. Where is she going? What the hell? That was weird. Just do it again. Weird, but okay. I guess that there was just someone she was in the way and I couldn't do that. You head inside the darkened warehouse with Shannon. Her eyes have that far-off gaze associated with looking into the astral plane. When the world changed, the Native American tribes made a resurgence as well, demanding a place in the new world. They got it. The Celestial Council represents 8.6 million Amerindians across the multitudes of tribes. Shalish, Macaw, Sinarark, and others. They've adapted to the awakening better than other nations, thanks to a deeper connection to the world, both physical and spiritual. As you can see, that connection alive is in Shannon now. You notice the shift in her focus as she turns to the present. She nods to you. You can sense the spirits in this place. Now you just need to find them. Well, the spirits may be restless, but these people sure aren't. Yeah, move them here. Wow, how am I missing so badly? This is insane. Why did I do that? Okay, hold on. We're playing really badly at this beginning. So, let's just load our autosave. I'm not gonna have a flashback of just redoing this stuff over and over again. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, this is starting off a little better. Alright, let's get option number 2 out. That way I can move them to cover. Or just bombard him, that also works. Yeah, go ahead and use this on him so he can use his spell. Alright, everything's going pretty well so far. Alright, things are going well so far, good. Now, one thing I do like, and you might be able to tell why exactly I'm getting higher percentages with certain enemies versus others, and it's because the way the spell system works is your own stats counter the enemy's ability to hit you with spells. So basically, there's a usefulness for fighting mages because they can often obliterate all the non-mages. But you know, just pointing that out just so you can see the difference. Okay, I think they're all dead now. I think. Unless we have to go to the next area. Yeah, the arrow's telling me to go that way. Okay, so let's group up over here. I do find that nice that they actually, you know, come back to you in a certain way. Which means that thing's gonna have to crawl back over here, but whatever. All right, now we're ready to open the door. Nope, still nothing. All right, so let's just crawl our way there. That we don't get any sneak surprises. Alright, let's get the second one out. Good thing there's not, you know, close up or friendly fire damage for myself. That would be pretty bad. Go figure. Oh yeah, I forgot how those things work. Grenades are very useful like that. Oh wow. You're getting annihilated, buddy. Come back. Where are you running? Oh, that was too much fun. Alright. See if there's any more loot we can find around here before we go into there. Areas flight recorder. Okay. So it looks like someone else hired some runners and they had the same idea we did. Except we were better. Nope. Nothing useful in there. Okay. Let's continue the thing. Alright, so what you got? Okay. Forgotten souls. The air grows cold, and the spirits of dead children coalesce from the vapor of your breath. Their cherubic faces are burned, and their lips quiver as if they are about to cry. But their eyes are round and vacant, and they glare at you now, unblinking. We are the innocents who have perished in the flames, choking on smoke, as well as from the sky, crying for our mothers. You bring anchors to your world, which is once home to us, and we will use them to testify. We no longer see the world of flesh, Seeker, only the essence of auras of living things. Words, though, words may echo from through the veil, and sometimes we can hear them. Last night, this place was filled with a scream that went on and on, drawing us to it. It was a man crying out for a witness as he died. So we came to bear witness, but fled in terror before the malevolent spirit that profaned the man's remains. That spirit was other. It was not of this place. It had twisted its way through the veil and through the dark to come here. When the other had gone and we returned to our vigil, we found two creatures of flesh. One you would call an elf, unsullied by technology and able to channel the energies of the cosmos. Yet his spirit was corrupted from within. He was dark and twisted, yet not like the other, so we did not flee. The second we knew to be a troll. Ribbons of his essence had been flayed from him, leaving cold machinery behind. His aura was the aura of one simple and confused. Between the elf and troll lay the remains of the man whose sister now chants to us for justice. The elf, his essence remains in this place, where the man died. Something had been left behind, a small part of him, perhaps. Through us you shall bear witness and hear the words of the elf and troll. Prepare yourself. Your stomach lurches as the spirit passes into you, a heavy presence settling somewhere deep within your soul. You simultaneously feel the driver and passenger as the time folds in on itself, and you've experienced the moment right after the murder that took place here the night before. You don't do so much as see the elf and troll as feel them. Wait, hold on, sorry again. You don't so much as see the elf and the troll as feel them. You idiot. There's no need to anesthetize him. He's already dead. Sorry, doctor. I usually put them out before you go to work at the hospital. Did this one volunteer too? He lets out a little giggle. Yes, they all volunteer. Just like I volunteered for this bit of butchery. Our presence grows weary. Spirit, can you tell us any more? The spirit begins to fade. All but the one. Its eyes harden and it takes full measure of you, as if to commit everything about you to memory. No, we must not stay. With the spirits gone, the young shaman releases her hold on the magical tether connecting her to the other realm. She reels from the backlash, or perhaps from the emotional toll of knowing her brother's last moments. They saw him. They were with him when he died. Are you alright? She takes a series of controlled breaths, only shuddering with the first few. No, but I will be. Awkward time for that. I don't want that for him. Not what those poor souls have endured. My brother deserves to be free. He is free. What we do now, we do for the living. Thank you, and you're right. This isn't over yet. We have to find that piece of the elf the spirits spoke of. It's our best hope of stopping this. Nope, no other goodies here. Okay, so let's go peruse what may have been left behind. Blood. This is what the spirits wanted us to find. The piece of my brother's killer. It's not much, but it's enough. She scowls at it, looking at every bit she intends to reach to the small sample and dismember its owner from afar. And perhaps she can. Can you track him with that? I can, given enough time. But I'm still feeling drained. I need to rest before I can try anything so involved. When I'm able, I'll commune with Bear, consult the spirits, and do what must be done. But in the meantime, you might take some portion of that sample to peruse a more conventional avenue of attack. Well, I do have some friends who might be able to help. Good. Let me know if you learn anything more about this elf and troll pair. And should you find them, I want to be there when they are brought low. I want to see the light leave their eyes. For my brother. Well, I don't think there's anyone else I would rather have by my side. See? Smooth and simple operation. No complications whatsoever. When you return to the Seamstresses Union in the early hours of the morning, it seems a completely different place. Bereft of the normal crowd that haunts it, the bar feels desolate, almost abandoned. It's eerie, like the back hallways of hotels and shopping malls. But you finally have a break in your case, a sample of the Ripper's blood. You just need someone to help you analyze it. Without the colorful the staff, cast of regulars, and posing tourists, the Union feels hollow. The front barge and lounge are deserted except for a handful of janitors. Well, this has been a smooth episode so far. Jesus, look how many karma points I already have. It almost feels like they were intending the game to be longer, but they were like, oh shit, we don't have stuff to do. Let's just give them a bunch of stuff to kind of feel like they're doing a lot of progression. Okay, do I really need the ranged combat? I mean, I guess I could, but right now I'm kind of using the riggers now, aren't I? That could be useful. Alright. Now we can have a new etiquette. Alright. I'm thinking security is going to be the most useful one for right now. Okay. May not be the most useful one for combat, but then again, I have, I got two drones to help me, so I'm not really worried about combat problems, no am I? Yeah, and there'll be plenty more. Alright. So, I'm going to take a short break to kind of like clear the air a bit, and then we'll return shortly. Alright, we're back. So, where we were last left off, we had just gotten a sample of blood, and now we need to trace it. Okay, Mr. Kubota is in the back. Where's the fixer guy? Oh well. Gather out the intimate back bar. Miss Kubota and her coterie gather for breakfast, the lady herself doing the cooking. The smell of soy cafe is something resembling sausages fill the room. Ohio, would you like some? She stops. Forgive me, Ome, but you look like hell. Thanks, just the welcome I was looking for. She looks you over, noting the signs of your nocturnal activities. She nods. Any run you can walk away from is a good run. Well, let's see. I agree. Good to be back in one piece. It is good to have you back. I can tell you have been busy, and I can see by the look on your face that there is something you need. Is this about the Ripper? Could be. I won't know until I get something analyzed. I understand. I unlocked the piano so you may go downstairs. Someone down there should be able to help you, if they are awake. It is likely that you will visit the Matrix before the day is done. Can I have a sausage, please? Take the whole plate. Oh yeah. Oh, Mr. Cluey, you're here. Evening. Wait, shouldn't it be morning? I don't know. What's the word around town? There's a lot more talk of the Ripper killings. Some people are saying that they're hate crimes on account of the victims all being human. Huh, didn't notice that. What if I told you the prime suspects were an elf and a troll? Still doesn't mean the killings are racially motivated. People are just too quick to label something a hate crime. Check the census. The city is still 66% humans. Close your eyes and throw a rock. You're more likely to hit a human. Doesn't make it a hate crime. But it is still a crime though, and that should be enough. This is the first real rise you've seen out of Mr. Cluey, but he remains himself in with a roll of his thick shoulders and a smoothing of his jacket. Don't worry, I'm not going to start throwing stones. Wouldn't want to reinforce the stereotype. Oh, this line hits so much harder in 2020. Anyway, I'll leave you to your own business, sir. Oh boy. Not going to step into that one. You've been doing a lot of the legwork on this job, but it's going to require a trip to the cyberspace and the back to ID the Ripper. The Matrix, the cybernetic analog of inside the grid. The worldwide computer network, a digital world, information brought to life. Inside cyberspace, your avatar does all the work while your meaty body left behind. All around you, your avatar are pathways to other nodes filled with data, IC, counter intrusion programs, and other jacked-in runners. Cyberspace has many dangers as the meat world, and more. Locked doors, security countermeasures, and black IC that can fry a Decker's brain. Every moment you make in the Matrix can be tracked. If you aren't careful, every movement you make in the Matrix can be tracked if you aren't careful. Get dump shocked out and your brain gets fuzzy for a bit. Get hit by an enemy Decker and you can die. Now, technically, if you are a Decker, you've had at least one opportunity to, Oh, interesting. I didn't get my stuff back. Okay, I'll keep that in mind for the future. But that I was saying, we had, so far, only had one instance where you could have used your Decker skills for once. So, the gist of it is that most of the plot has been kind of funneling you towards each playstyle to kind of get a feel of it. So, like, there was the beginning where you kind of had the general street samurai combat sequence stuff. Then you had the whole shaman thing we had just gotten through. And now we're going to the whole Decker, which is what this whole sequence is about. Morning. You look like you've been up all night. You look like you've seen some action, too. Hey, where's Doc Castle? Asleep, I assume. Do you need a medkit or something? I need someone to analyze a DNA sample. Doc Castle's equipment isn't really set up for that. He considers for a moment. However, I could employ a semiconductor chip. It could decode DNA using a voltage change instead of light. That would eliminate the use of highly expensive equipment that would be required otherwise. Wait, let me read that again. A semiconductor chip. It could decode DNA using a voltage change. I'm just trying to think of the logistics around this thing. I guess because you could use a spectrometer, which is what you would analyze light and the bending of light. So you could use it with a voltage change instead, because light is still electricity. Okay, I kind of get it. Bit of a mangle thing to do, but I kind of get it. He brightens. I just read a journal about it, so the information's still fresh. Frankly, it should be easy. What do you want to know about? See, this is the kind of science fiction I like, where it's still believable because I can kind of ground it in some basis of reality. But then I have to just think about it, it's like, well, does that actually work, or is that just mumbo-jumbo science jumbo stuff? Okay, anyways, we're looking for the owner's identity. That's beyond me. All I can get you is the gene code sequence. Yeah, that's what I figured. But that's where I come in. David, if you can get me that code sequence, I'm pretty sure we can track its owner down via a matrix run. Will do. Let me have the DNA test you want. Okay, so when David gives me the sequence, I'll jack in and help you trace the blood sample back to its source. Whiz. Okay, so thank you. If this works, we may find the Emerald City Ripper. No drek? He turns to Johnny excited. Wake up, Johnny boy. You got work to do. And Smaltzy, if you need any gear, I'll be right here. I just got a second wind. Meet you in my rig, Smaltzy. Let's see what you got. Yeah. Now, I guess technically I could buy this stuff for him, but I'm really not going to need it. That's why we have the janitor guy. I forgot his name right now. Don't know why. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he can set us up pretty well. Let's see, do I have anything for Van Grass? Well, I got a flight recorder. It wouldn't happen to be an Ares flight recorder, would it? I know some very powerful buyers who are looking for that right now. I can get rid of it for you for, say, 20%. That leaves 2,000 for you. That's a lot. Deal. Okay, so I got 9. Alright, that's all taken care of. Kind of want to make sure that if I have to rely on my weapons, I don't have to be gimped. So yeah, we'll skip the etiquette stuff right now. Alright, Johnny Clean, come clean with me. Thanks to the semiconductor-based gene sequencing system that David employed, we should have the information we need to track the Ripper in the Matrix. I'm really impressed with the results, considering it was his first attempt. He was utilizing an unproven technique he read about in a science journal, and he was working from memory on minimal sleep. Well, if there's time later, maybe you can tell me more about it. Yes, maybe we can sit down with David and he can share his research, but let's stay focused right now. Here's what I'm thinking. We hit the Lone Star DNA database first to see if our donor has a prior criminal record. They have extensive DNA archives. Then we go hunting on what we find. Let's hit the decks and jack into the Matrix. I can get into their private grid easily, but I've got to warn you, once we're in, it could get a little rough. How much decking experience have you had? So like, that's nice. It's like they have all these options to kind of have you somewhat competent, but me, nope, no experience. I have a Tronet here. It's a headband you wear that lets you piggyback me in the Matrix. You'll see and hear everything I do. See? They got plenty of stuff here to work with you, which this should be more than enough to get through this. So, let's just jack in together. Wait, that sounds very wrong. Your synapses lights up after you connect to your consciousness to the digital world. Though you aren't jacked in like Johnny, the sensation is overwhelming and electrifying. You can only imagine the way it feels for him. So, when we're in the Matrix, it's pretty much just like normal, but just, you know, different visuals and stuff. And instead of spells, we have executables. So, here we got plenty of threats to take care of. So what we're going to do is we're going to load a program. Well, it was worth a shot, but I'll just wait. Now, in certain sequences where you have to do both real world and what's it called, Decker combat, you have to kind of balance these multiple layers of complexity that are introduced when you have, you know, like separate turns on different time scales. So it gets really confusing, but it's not as bad as it may seem. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and take care of this guy. What, only 75? Really? That's surprising. But you also have an extra AP point, so kind of balance itself out a little bit. Okay, so I can't do anything with the data until this thing's gone. Alright, just want to make sure. Alright, come on. Just die already. There we go. Now we can access the data. DNA loaded, DNA match loaded, 100% match, arrest warrants, try it again. DNA match located, 100% match, arrest records database. Subject Elias Forsberg, deceased. Chop shop surgical assistant. Priors, breaking and entering 2 counts, 1 public indecency, and brought in for questioning on accusations of unlicensed plastic surgery. No charges were filed. Well, that's at least 1 match. Let's move my companion here. I don't think there's any one we need to go to, so let's just kind of go choose one. Okay, so let's check the autopsy records. Okay, 1 done. 1 more left to take care of. Yeah, go and buff yourself. That way we can kind of finish this off. Alright, that was easy. Elias Forsberg. Subject was found overdosed on half a dozen different sedatives. Several anti-anxiety medications were also found in his system. Face was mutilated, possibly self-inflicted. Identity could not be confirmed, immediately due to the disfigurement. Had to check dental records to confirm. No next of kin. Large puncture wounds were found in several places on the body, possibly large bore surgical needles. Body had been decomposing for several weeks before the landlord noticed the smell and called the police. Okay. Now that thing on the bottom is kind of our warning for how long we can wait in here before the defenses kick in. And that's when things get a little hectic, so we don't want to be in here too long. Alright, so what we want to do... take out this shield guy, so he doesn't make it harder to kill them. And then use a tar bomb to kind of take them all out. There we go. Alright, piece of cake. Let's see. Elias Forsberg, blah, 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 blah. Chop shop assistant. Da. Long as a month when Forsberg landlord noticed a rancid smell and contacted authorities. Lone Star representatives have issued a statement saying his death has been ruled as a suicide. According to the reports, his body has a mass of puncture wounds, and the cause of death was determined as an overdose on anti-stress medications. The man's employer claims he was a dedicated employee, though he had suffered from bouts of depression. His next of kin could not be located, but the attorney pointed to his estate has located a will written weeks prior, leaving all of his belongings to his psychiatrist. The identity of the psychiatrist has not been released due to privacy concerns. Another sad end to a life, as is far too common here in the sprawl. Okay, that's a bit of a strange coincidence. No one raised an eye about a psychologist having all that stuff. Whatever. Now, I think I can ignore it, but you can also jack out like this. So here's what we know. Our DNA evidence belongs to a dead man whose death was never explained. He worked with chop shots, which fits with the living guy you've met. The news net says he's left his estate to the psychiatrist. Maybe finding out who his psychiatrist was will give us our next clue. My gut says we can deck into the medical board record and reverse trace to find his doctor. You in? Sure, why not? Yeah, just keep going. So, now we know what we're doing. Oops. My bad. Yeah, go back in. I meant the wrong thing. Okay. So here, get our assassin program loaded. Now, what are my other programs, by the way? Oh, I can't access it right now. That's fine. Okay, so I can reduce the alarm state, that's fine. Okay, so let's see if I can reduce the alarm state for a little bit. Okay, so that uses the whole turn. Got it. Alright. Okay, let's check prior to 2030. Pediatric record partial. One particular prediction entry stands out from the rest. Child suffers from chronic depression and social anxiety, most likely caused by his physical abnormalities. We've seen many cases like this recently, with the outbreak of changeling children being born. With the aberrant physiology we're seeing, there is no telling what sort of brain functions are affected. Prescribed a series of sedatives last year that seem to have no effect. Let's up the dosage. So now it's missing. Okay, present. The file is quite large and takes well over an hour to read through. The final entry, however, is the most significant. It is written by Dr. Henry Holmes. Silius has overcome significant mental disorders and no longer goes through periods of violent episodes. Leia's medications have proven effective, but I believe that being treated by another elf has significantly impacted his treatment. Unfortunately, my efforts to maintain an emotional boundary with him have proven challenging. He has bonded to me in an unhealthy and frankly an unnerving way. His hero worship exhibits itself in a form of mimicked speech patterns and adopting my dress. For this reason and for the health of the patient, I am assigning another doctor to the case. I will inform him next session. Interesting. It does seem strangely quiet when doing this thing. It always is kind of unnerving to me, but maybe that's just me. Okay, I'm gonna move my character over because I just want to get there within the next turn. Alright, check current employment status. Dr. Henry Holmes currently holds the position of Chief Psychiatrist and Administration at Mercy Mental Hospital, Snohomish, Washington, UCAS. Okay. What about past employers? Psychiatrist in residence, Mercy Mental Hospital. Attending psychiatrist, Mercy Mental Hospital. And private practice. Okay. So that seems to match up with everything. Back to meat space again. Okay, so let's hit this jacked out button. That's fine. Alright. He's asleep now. Yeah, I'm not going to read that. It's going to fade away before I even get a chance. Sorry. Despite the hour, Buster is fastidiously putting together another wrinkle-free suit. He shows every indication that he's been up for hours, sunk to his elbows in a dozen crates, each containing objects of sinister matte black, hidden beneath curls of straw-coloring packing foam. The foam flies about as he inventories these shipments, clinging to every surface except for Buster's immaculate suit. Just in time, I've got a whole new slew of toys in from a supplier back east. Factory fresh and still smelling of their mother's gun oil. Maybe there's something in this batch you're interested in. How long have you been in this trade, Buster? Well, let's see. I left Cal Free on July 8th, 2038 at 6:13 in the morning. It was a Thursday. From there, I wandered a bit, plied my skills as a merc in half a dozen different wars, official or otherwise. Never did take to running in the shadows like some of the boys I knew. Too subtle for my taste, I suppose. Surely there is no shortage of full-scale engagements to be had, so I didn't want for work. Might be still doing it today if I hadn't lost the arm. How did you lose it? It was stupid. Some Azzies were lobbing smokers behind our lines. More to mess with us than anything. I decided to toss one back, and I didn't just figure that the one I grabbed ain't a smoker. I got it off, but only just barely. Shredded my old arm, but good. Got plenty of other scars to remember the moment by all that well. But the arm was the big one. So take a word of advice from an old soldier. Make sure you're never holding a grenade in one hand, unless you just pull the pin with the other. Now, if I haven't given you reason to doubt my professional competence, how about we talk turkey? So, every now and then we kind of get upgrades to our usual stuff. Is that a... Yeah, SMG. Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah, let's get that. And then I should be able to sell off the other stuff to... Yeah. Perfect. Alright, let me sell off that other stuff that I have. So sell that, sell that. I won't need that. Yeah, I won't need this. Alright, now we made back all the stuff that we paid for. Any new stuff here? The robo-dock is tempting. I'll consider it. Although I think I'd be more inclined to the Strato right now. Because I could get rid of the smoker and make up for the loss. Yeah, why don't we do that? Sorry, I meant to ditch the Doberman, because then the Doberman can kind of go away and I can use a much more powerful one. Yeah, that makes sense. Perfect. Alright. So that must be the new one, right? Yep. Oh, it flies. Cool. You know, I think for the entire game I stuck with the C grade ones. So it's like, oh, I never used the better ones? Let's see. Any new threads? Yes. Okay. The Gengar mask one is probably what I would get, but I'm probably fine for right now. Can I see what it looks like? No, of course not. Oh, there's a lot more. Okay. Millispec flight suit. Okay. That's tempting. But I think I'm going to save what I got for right now. Unless I get more dosh for my thing. But I think we got our lead. So let's just check with David Fry. David almost looks as tired as you do. You can tell that this case has gotten under his skin like it has gotten under yours. Any luck? We found an exact match for the DNA, but it was linked to a dead shop assistant by the name of Silius Fornsberg. Now, I have my theories, but what do you think is going on here, Schmaltzy? Okay. The DNA evidence doesn't belong to the killer. I guess that's still a possibility. You seemed pretty sure when he got there that it did. What about the top autopsy report? Anything stand out? The face was so mangled that they had to use dental records to identify him. Good catch. That messes up with something that I've seen runners try. It's easy enough to find a body shop that'll make a replica set of teeth for you. Find some schlub off the street, no one will miss, swap his teeth, and throw a little heaf off your trail for a little while. Luckily, I've never been that desperate. But why would he need to go through those lanes? Did the police records have something linking him to a different crime? He had a prior for unlicensed plastic surgery. True. Wouldn't look too good on someone's record if they had wanted to become a doctor. I think this is beginning to come together. The late Silius left all of his belongings to a doctor. Dr. Holmes. Employment records have him as the administrator at Mercy's Mental, and the picture of his file matches the person you saw downtown. The same person this DNA belongs to. All this evidence points to him being your killer, whoever it really is. Well, I guess I should find this Dr. Holmes and ask him some very pointed questions. Please pay him my respects. I always find that high caliber rounds get the message across. You should clearly hire some friends and go loaded for bear. I siloed a ton of valuable data from those Lone Star Matrix nodes. Here's your cut. You're not coming? I think my part here is done. You might want to go sticking your hand into a hornet's nest, but I'm a little more wary of the jobs I take these days. Alright, so, like I said, they just roll you in dosh. 85,000. So, we might upgrade ourselves next time, but I think this is a good place, if any, to stop. So, thanks for watching. Tune in next time where we go visit into Mercy's hospital.